My name is Christian Starrett, and I graduated from Piqua High School in 2019. I currently go to Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee, and am majoring in commercial guitar and music business. Yeah, so the arts has been in my life as long as I could remember. Growing up, my dad was a musician around the Dayton area, playing in bands like Cadillac Sam and the Syndicate and multiple others. And so growing up, I always got to see him play music, and so that was always very inspiring. He introduced me to multiple genres of music, from anything country to early blues, like the Delta blues stuff, and rock and roll. Artists like Elvis Presley and Elmore James and the Monkees and the Beatles. So, my influences come from everywhere. Yeah, so, one of my first memories of my dad playing, I was 4 years old, 5 years old, and I remember going to see him at the country concert play. And he's played everywhere, so I really grew up. Every weekend I would see him carrying out multiple guitar cases to his car, and a lot of those shows were bars, so I couldn't go, but I would usually be right in front of him. So, and when I got older, I joined the band when I was about 12 or 13 playing saxophone. So it's a different experience when you're watching your dad play and then playing with your dad. So some of my greatest moments are playing with my dad on stage, either playing sax or playing guitar next to him. Yeah, so I'm a huge Beatles fan. So, watching the Beatles really inspired me to play and just do music forever, because I saw them always having fun, and there's nothing more I would rather do than playing music for the rest of my life. Yeah, so it's actually great. School band. So in 4th and 5th grade, playing saxophone, playing alto sax, and I played in the school band up until 8th grade. So I was in jazz bands, and that really helped me. But when I hit high school, I really wanted to do show choir, and so I dropped out of band to do show choir, but I continued playing sax in my dad's band. Why show choir? It was different, and I love Tom Westfall. He's one of the greatest guys I've ever met, and he just inspired me to take it a different direction. It helped me with my singing and even dancing. I love dancing. It's one of my all-time favorite things now, and especially in Nashville, going to the honky tonks and doing the two-step with random, it's great. So Westfall really inspired me to pursue music even further with my dad. So kind of just the guitar area. So just playing guitar, that's about it. But show choir really helped me with my vocals and harmonies, and really almost added a new stage to everything. So Belmont's not a cheap college. And I love school. I always did really well in school, and I just thought it was really, really great to be good at school and be good at your art, and they both work good together. So about 7 years old, I never forget this. When it was Christmas morning, and we opened all the packages, all the presents, and there was this big box in the corner. And I unwrapped it at 7 years old, and it was a miniature version of my dad's guitar. It was just this bright red miniature Stratocaster, and him and I had matching guitars. My dad was my first teacher. I think it really helped me, because he taught me the first thing I ever learned on the guitar. Most people learn this chords. I was learning 1-4-5 blues progressions and how to play with the blues and rock and roll. And so my dad kind of gave me the experiences of playing music. Taking me out on stage. And when I was 7 too, he brought me up on stage for the very first time. And I sung this blues song called I Left My Baby. 7 years old, I had the little sunglasses on and the suit, and they put me up on the monitor and so everybody could see me. So like experiences like that really helped me. Well, playing shows and before I go on stage, like it's just what I long for, like live for. Like that feeling of playing in front of people and bringing my art to somebody else to bring them joy. It's just, there's nothing like it. So post high school, I wanted to, of course, go into music somehow. And I thought the only way to really play music for the rest of my life and make a living out of it is to be in Nashville, Tennessee. So I found this music college down there called Belmont. And Belmont has given me a lot of great opportunities to play. And now I joined a band down there called Cole Ritter and the Night Owls. And I do more music almost outside of school now, playing gigs. And so yeah, I knew I had to be in Nashville to do it for the rest of my life. Yeah, so Belmont offers a program called the commercial program. And I mean, there's all kinds of instruments, guitar, drums, vocal, like musical theater. So like the commercial guitar program really stood out to me. The teachers are the most professional people in Nashville. I mean, one of my guitar teachers, his name's John Pell. He was like Dolly Parton's lead guitar player, and he's done about every studio work you could imagine in Nashville. So I know, like, if I'm being taught by like the very best, maybe that will make me the very best. So Cole Ritter. So it's actually it's a crazy story, a really crazy story. One of my best friends' dad, he works with a guy named Chad Ritter here in Piqua. All right, and Chad Ritter, they were talking one day, and somehow I was brought up in how I was going to Nashville and Belmont University to do music, and Chad said that he had a cousin that went to Belmont too, and that was Cole Ritter. And Cole Ritter was born in Nashville, and he's been there his whole life. He's played with tons of great bands and stuff, even like Marty Stewart, people like that, like this big artist. He's been around his whole life. And so like his dad and his grandparents actually live and grew up in Sydney, Ohio. So he would actually come here like through the summers and spend time in Piqua and Sydney. So we can really relate to this hometown of mine. He just grew up there. So his mom and his dad grew up, well, they had a house in Gallatin, Tennessee. And so he was there his whole life. So a really small world. So I think art's really important in communities. I think having like community festivals and just anywhere where like a community can come and listen to music, I think it really brings people together in like the hardest times, and it brings people together, and it's just such a common ground. I mean, everybody can relate to music in some way or another, and I think it's great to bring people together. So I think like when I've been to the Taste of the Arts multiple times, and especially working at Barclays, I've always been around it, and I think it's really great. I think it gives people opportunities to get out of their house and experience live music and taste great food and be around people. It brings joy. I mean things like that is like really like good for communities, especially Piqua. I think the idea of living in a community without any arts, in a world without any arts, I think it's almost impossible. I think art brings happiness and joy to about anybody, whether that's music or painting or dancing or anything can be considered an art. And I think it's almost impossible to have a community without art. So I think art is really something that brings everything together. Where do I go from here? So my band and we went into the studio this summer, and we recorded our very first studio album, and that should actually be coming out in the next couple months. It's going to be called Between the Hours of Dusk and Dawn. It's going to be a 5-song EP with the first single being Hard Times. And so we've been focusing on that, and we've been looking forward to more gigs, but of course with COVID going on, it's been really detrimental in taking those away. I think my dad is one of the most successful people as a musician. I mean, he's done it all. I mean, he's played every stage imaginable in around here. I mean, Dayton, Columbus, he's played country concert and the Dayton Blues Festival and tons of festivals. I grew up doing cancer benefits with him, and that's another great community, event that just brings great things. I mean, there's nothing better than playing music and getting to donate it all to, a charity foundation like Cancer or Relay for Life. So success for me looks like just waking up every day and getting the opportunity to play my guitar for people. So, not a worry in the world other than getting to do music. So, and it's hard. It's a very hard thing to achieve. It's like winning the lottery. But it's possible with hard work and determination. So, COVID has ruined a lot of things for a lot of people this year. It's been really bad. I mean, it's taken away gigs. Even downtown Nashville, like all the bars have been closed, and the opportunities are just not there with the COVID going on. And I can't wait for it to truly be over so I can get back to doing what I love. Yeah, so the bombing that just happened in Nashville, I mean, that was 5 minutes from my place. It's right in my back door. It's downtown Broadway, It's where everybody goes, and it's terrifying, and it's a scary world right now, with COVID and then this. You just got to be extra safe and precautious, and So my mom has been a great influence to me. I mean, she was the one that really got me into the Beatles, and I like I said it before, I love the Beatles, and they've been truly my biggest influence. And in my house, like, we used to have, like, I had this big Beatle room. I mean, Beatle pictures wall to wall. And my mom has been like a great inspiration to me as well. She was the president of show choir when I was in it. So it was really neat to be with her, at these competitions like every Saturday. So I got to be with her and experience my love of show choir with her. Yeah, my path has definitely been, I think, easier since I've had the support I have from, people in the community and my parents and school teachers. Everybody helps. So, and support's the only way I can make it. And I'm really thankful for all the support I've gotten so far. The Abbey Road medley with Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight in the End. It was like the last bit of Abbey Road, that song. It's technically 3 songs, but I think it was just a great end, like, to the Beatles. So, the last song on Abbey Road is called The End. It's just like, all 4 of them they all have solos in it. And it's just, they're going back and forth, and it's just like a good conclusion. So, when I got to Nashville, it was my freshman year, and there's this thing called showcases at Belmont. There's 4. There's country, there's Christian, there's urban, and rock. And these 4 showcases. And country is the biggest showcase of all of it, since we are in Nashville, Tennessee, and the home place of country music. And the country showcase is this huge thing. There was like 70 or 80 groups that tried out to be in this showcase, and it was the showcase was going to take place in February of 2020. So from the 70 and 80 groups that tried out, only 8 were chosen to do a live audition. And all those groups had to submit 2 original songs and a cover to even be chosen for the live audition. And my group and I, Cole Ritter and the Night Owls, we made it to the live audition at Columbia Studio A in Nashville. It's to where like all the studios are, like almost like Music Row they call it. And that's where Bob Dylan and Patsy Cline recorded all their stuff. So, and Johnny Cash. I mean, it was just inspiring to be in that building and play our original music where they recorded all their hits. So of the 8 groups that did the live audition, only 4 were chosen to go to the final round, which was the showcase itself. And of the 4 groups, we went second. We made it and we went second. And I mean, thousands of people we got to perform at the Curb Event Center at Belmont. And it was pretty humbling. We actually ended up winning the whole entire showcase. So the judges were all like, reps with Sony and Warner Brothers and, Big Machine. I mean, it was pretty wild. Definitely made me like hungry some more for music. What influences my work now? I think the same thing that it did my whole life. I mean, the support and my idols. I mean, the Beatles and Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I mean, it just ranges. Even country music now. I'm a big country music fan, so people like, Hank Williams and Willie Nelson, Ernest Tubb, like those people and the people around me really influenced me to create new paths and try new music and continue. So Cole Ritter and the Night Owls is something no one has heard for a very long time. We combine genres of country and rock, western swing, and blues and jazz. We do a lot of jazz, and it's almost like the old-timey country. I mean, Cole has just an incredible voice and just adds great dynamics to the group. And we have a pedal steel and an upright bass player. Cole and I play guitar, and we had a drummer. So all those aspects and contributions of all of my band members really create a big and unique sound like no one has heard for a very long time. So my favorite piece, I'd say, of equipment that is most meaningful to me, I think there's nothing better than a nice guitar and an amp. Just a warm toned guitar. And also, another piece is the pedal steel. I think the pedal steel is just so unique with its bends and slides. It's just so awesome. My favorite guitar? Last Christmas, I got a body of a guitar, and it's like Dakota red, and it's all reliced out. And my dad and I actually built the guitar together and got the neck on it, and that's my main guitar anymore. That, and I play a big orange Gretsch 6120, mostly with the Night Owl stuff. Yeah, so let me tell you somebody that has really inspired me. His name's Jimmy Feltz. Jimmy Feltz has really inspired me. I never had lessons. I never took a lesson in my life until about 3 months before I went to Belmont. And Jimmy, I've been good friends with Jimmy my whole life. My dad has known him. He's just a great guy, phenomenal teacher. He knows it all. Jimmy Feltz truly knows everything. And he really helped me speed up my, I didn't know much jazz before going into Belmont, and he really taught me a lot of jazz. So yeah, Jimmy Feltz has definitely been a big inspiration of mine too. I'm gonna think how far I came and where I started, and I'm gonna think of my hometown Piqua and the great support I've received from here. And from everybody here has been great support. But I'm gonna think of my dad for sure, and my parents and their support and what they taught me growing up.